Alright, so here is what the garden looks like from above for July 31st, 2021. So it took me a while to get the July video going because we've had a lot of rain here lately. So this is the top of the garden. You can see we've got a path that leads down to the entrance of it. But these are our raspberries and blackberries up here. We've got a lot of sunflowers growing right now. It really brings in the bees as well as the goldfinches. You can maybe hear them singing their kind of lazy whistle in the background. We got some ornamentals like this flower here. Lots of, we got some irises here as well, some other bulbs. But these are mostly our berries, and we've got these kind of trellises that we actually got from my parents from their yard. They're getting rid of those, and so they're holding up well. They actually have a T-post that I painted brown on the other side. I'll show you that in a second. There's another blackberry. We have some of these bigger sunflowers that my wife Danielle planted, and as you can see, those taller ones are about to come out. So lots of sunflowers. They've been going crazy for the last couple months really. And then we got some marigolds down here. You can see some other flowers. I don't know what those ones are. I think those are marigolds actually. No, these ones are marigolds. I don't know what these ones are down here. Maybe those are the mums perhaps. I'm not too sure. But anyway, here's some of our other sunflowers and our gate going into the garden there. That's not blood, that's actually water from boiling beets. So not to alarm all of you, but that's what that is. So some of the vitamins or minerals or whatever that are in the beet water, we're using that to hand water when it's not wet. But we got a rain last night, and so it's very wet. We got this large pumpkin that's overgrown the garden, and we got our chickens down there, and some grapevines. I'll show you those in a second. We got this grape that is going up and over this arbor that we have here, and we have one on this side too, but it got hit hard with a frost right after we put it in. We put this one in just I think a week or two later, and you can tell the difference from the one that froze. You can see this is the original grapevine here, and anyway, it's had a hard time this year, but hopefully next year it'll do better. So we've just been taking these and putting them on where they can find their way up the arbor. We've got this system here. We had it, it runs on 2 AA batteries, and we're able to use our rainwater to irrigate. We've got 4 different stations here, one of which is this 1/2-inch tubing that goes out to the garden, and then we have one that goes up to the blackberries, this one for the garden, this one goes down to the orchard, and then we've got another one that goes out to our asparagus grapes on that grapevine. Down here you can see the green lines there for the grape support. We've got some artichokes and other things, but let me take you on a tour here. We've got quite a bit growing in the garden. As you can see, it's like a jungle out here, which is awesome, but it's mostly because we've been getting so much rain. The rain really helps, and we've been getting rain just about once a day. So like I said, we got some sunflowers planted along the wall. Here's that trellis with the T-post, and we just have it held onto the trellis just held onto the T-post with some wire ties that we had that were extra. So starting over here, we got some bell peppers. You can see that one there, and you can see some of our drip system. We've talked about that before, but yeah, we got some actually decent sized bell peppers coming on here, so that's pretty cool. So we have a few of those plants, and then we have a serrano here. You can see these serranos. I'm gonna pick these and then pickle them actually, and we got red bell pepper here. That one's a little slow. These should all be red bell peppers too, if they get ripe enough. but the tag actually says, you know, green bell pepper. So we will probably use those as green bell peppers. We got zucchini here. That one is going to be picked pretty soon. And then we have quite a few zucchini and summer squash along this eastern wall here. And you can see all the squash flowers. They're super happy with all the rain. And we have some clover in here. We put cover crop down before we planted, and it seems to really help. Some of that stuff's still kind of out of control. These are peas that are kind of drying up. You can see there's still a flower on there, so we're letting them go. But there are cover crops in here that are some different types of grass and grains like wheat and oats, triticale, and then there's peas and clover and all kinds of stuff to improve the soil quality. So when you see weeds like that, often it's us just letting the cover crop add nitrogen to the soil, and sometimes it is weeds. But this is some lettuce that we're letting go to seed, so we can save that seed for next year. We've got some beans back in there, and those are actually climbing up this trellis as well. We have a big couple stalks of corn. That one's got a tassel on the top, so haven't seen actually any ears of corn yet, but they should be coming soon. You can see this bean is going up this corn stalk. Yeah, it looks like there might be a corn starting there, ear of corn that is. So keep moving along here. We got some more squash here. I don't know what type this one is. I don't see anything in there, but that one actually looks like a zucchini, right there maybe. So yeah, that is zucchini. So then we got some beans right here, some more squash here. I think this one is a zucchini as well, I'm not sure. And then we have kind of the big pumpkin patch here. So Danielle and I were talking last night. Actually, is our anniversary, believe it or not. 16 years we've been married, and it's been an awesome ride. Danielle is such an amazing wife. But one of the things we talked about was that these pumpkins have kind of overrun this part of the garden. So next year I think we're gonna make a separate raised bed outside this garden for the pumpkins. It's really nice to grow pumpkins, but they can take over. You can see we got a big pumpkin down in here. Check that one out. So that's pretty good sized pumpkin. Can't get my hand all the way down in there, but yeah, it's a good one. So you can see it's very shaded under here, which helps conserve the water, of course, but the pumpkins also suck it out of the ground. So yeah, just looking for any extra pumpkins that might be cool to see. We still have this kale growing. All of our kale is still doing really good, actually. So we're gonna see if it will overwinter for us. We're not really expecting a lot there, but it could happen. We could end up getting it to stay with us through the winter. Got some cabbage down here. And then these are tomatillos. So we like making salsa. I've mentioned that in the past. But these are growing really good. They're about waist high. And I don't know if there's any fruits on there yet. Yeah, there's one over there. They got those little lampshade kind of things on them. And then these ones, we got some jalapenos in here. You can see those there. And then moving on here, we got some eggplant. So you can see some little eggplants growing right there. And there's a little bit bigger one there on that plant. So we've got 2 eggplant plants here. And then we got some more serranos here. I'm probably gonna, oh, this one's a jalapeno actually, but these are serranos. And those are my favorite peppers. I just love the flavor of them. There's another eggplant. And so we've got, I don't know, quite a few serrano plants right here. And then we have these climbing beans, and they're going up our arbor made out of a cattle panel. And that was a really great decision that we made. We actually learned that from a few different people. one of the places that we saw it successfully implemented, this arbor cattle panel, is at Mile High Middle School in Prescott, where we attend church on Sunday. And so they have a little garden, and they had a bunch of these, and I think they might have cut them in half. Actually, they're real short, but this is a 16-foot cattle panel, and so it's about 8 feet tall walking underneath it, which is pretty cool. And we just have 4 of these T-posts, so we'll do a video on actually how to do that. It's super simple, but we'll tell you all the specs and everything of what we're doing, because we're actually going to put maybe 3 or 4 more of these on there. And it's great. We had a shade cloth on the top of it until the beans grew this tall. Once they get about halfway up the side of it, we decided to take off the shade cloth because it interferes with the growth of the beans. So you can see they're above my head height now, which is great. But that's that shade cloth was getting in the way. We got cucumbers over here. Actually, I'll wait to show the rest of this side once I get down this rest of this row here. I gotta show you some things at the bottom. But yeah, for the cattle panels, what we decided was that we'll put another 3 or 4 of them in this row here, and then we'll probably cover it with plastic in the winter and use it as a form of a greenhouse, because it's nice to be able to use the greenhouse and then not have it wasted in the summer. So here we go. We got watermelons growing down here. Some of our onions are still finishing. We got a bunch of starts that we're planting for the fall. Danielle planted some of those last night, some of the lettuce, and like I said, that's our pumpkin over there. This purple kale is still growing strong. You can see it's got these long stalks, and like I said, we'll see if it'll overwinter. This is a shishito pepper, is that right? Let's see. No, that's the Thai hot pepper. So we got some of those growing ripe now. And then we've got this Fresno chili, and you can see some of those on there. And then we also have some of these other peppers. I forget exactly what they are. Tabasco peppers. I think that's what these ones all are. And then, like I said, we got cucumber, and then there's the shishito pepper. So this one will be interesting. We haven't grown this one before. Then we've got some basil there. I forget what type of basil this is, but it's, I want to say it's a Thai basil. But anyway, it's really good. I love that in soups and things like that. This is another Tabasco pepper. We haven't seen that one flower yet. Then we got another watermelon here. And I think all these are, well, that one's a bell pepper, but these are Anaheim and poblano peppers. And then we got a bunch of just volunteer sunflowers that popped up here, and we leave them for the pollinators and the goldfinches, like I said before. And then yeah, these are just more of those peppers. So Anaheim poblano peppers. And then we got some corn that's starting up here, some other squashes that came in, some lettuces that are going to seed, so we can save that seed. More corn, more squash coming up. Actually, that one's a cantaloupe right there. And then we've got this is another serrano. Someone was doing real bad. Actually had a hard time while we were gone on vacation, but now it's doing well. We got some beans growing here too, and all the pumpkins. We got some chard going to seed back in the end of this row. And then this next row over here, starting with that sunflower, got tomato. Have all kinds of tomatoes here. These ones are interesting here. So this one, I don't see the tag for it. I forget what these ones are called. Sorry about that. Danielle would know, I'm sure. But we have tons of peppers over here, or sorry, tons of tomatoes over here. And this tag came out. What does this one say? Brandywine. So this one's the Brandywine. we got quite a few tomatoes set, and this cattle panel is obviously horizontal, not an arbor, and I have a video of how I set this thing up, and it's going really well. I highly recommend using it for tomatoes and vining things like this. Some of I think that's a cucumber down there perhaps. Some of those haven't really taken off too well. There's one there, but they had a hard start. There's some ripe tomatoes here, but we got tomatillos over here that are almost head high, and you can see we've got quite a few that have set and are in their little lampshades there. So looking forward to making that salsa verde. There's another look at those cucumbers on the arbor, and some pumpkins. We've already harvested some of these pumpkins, actually came off this vine. This was just a volunteer. It just came up on its own, and we just let it go and put it over the wall so that it could have some extra space. And then here in the last row, we've got cucumbers vining up this trellis here. So I'll stick this guy through here. You can find its way back through. But everything is nice and wet, and it's going good. This watermelon's a little strange shape over there, but we got quite a few watermelon. These are some beans here. There's a cantaloupe growing there, so that's fun. We got a couple watermelons we put up on the wall here. We put these pieces of cardboard under them and a leather glove to protect them from the concrete wall. These are some beets that are just finishing up. There's some lettuce getting started for the fall. Some chard going to seed. Some potatoes that we planted. Those are just recent plants, so those will be ready in a little bit. We got some chard coming up here. We planted some spinach here. You can just barely see them starting to come up. And then we got all these peppers here. We think these are banana peppers. There, it looks like there's a red one back in there, so that's cool. Not really sure exactly what these ones are, but I think they were sold to us. I can't find the tag. Put the tag down here at one time, but I don't see it now. But I forget what they were sold to us as, but we wanted to try them out. And anyway, looking forward to those. I've tasted one of the yellow ones, and they just taste like a regular pepper. Here's some Romanesco. Is that what it's called? Yeah, Romanesco broccoli. So those ones haven't come out yet. Then we've got some other seedlings. I forget what those are. I think that's a some type of squash. Maybe that's a melon, actually. Cantaloupe, perhaps. We got an eggplant here. We've already gotten a few eggplants off of there, but there's some you can see there. And another kale. And we got potatoes, and this vine back here is actually a loofah, so that'll be fun. Got some purple basil, some regular green basil there, and there's a bean plant there. But that's pretty much it. So if you have any questions, please let us know. It's a little bit of a long video, so thanks for bearing with us. But you can see our grapes down here coming up onto our grapevine, and there's the asparagus and strawberries. You can see these are our artichoke plants as well. So yeah, let us know in a comment below if you have any questions. And thanks so much for watching. We really appreciate the views and when you subscribe to our channel. So if you want to give us a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, we really would appreciate it. And I'm Nick from Highland Homestead. Thanks so much for watching. We'll have more videos for you real soon.